As from now on a commie, and you are a fucking commie. Don't like that. Give me a notice and fuck off. As from now on a commie, and you are a fucking commie. Don't like that.
All right, hello, welcome to No Crying in the Cool Room, Chef Industry podcast, where we chop up the shit, and we're back at it.
G'day.
Good to see you, dude.
Yeah, man.
I haven't seen you since the last one.
Yeah, I thought we did one last week, but no, we didn't.
No.
Just realised that 10 seconds ago.
No, we're cruising into the new year.
I've lost a week somewhere here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even in the industry, dude, and you lost a week.
I know.
All those chefs out there will be real pissed that a guy who's no longer in kitchens isn't making the most of it in terms of kitchens.
Meanwhile, that's probably when people have time off is sort of now-ish, or probably ends a bit now, I guess.
Chefy people.
Yeah. Sort of after the Chrissy, after the new year a little bit. They used to push me to get holidays.
It's been pumping out there, though.
Yeah, but I just remember that being a thing of people push you to take your holidays.
Yeah. I don't ever remember taking any holidays ever.
I never did.
Then
I would cash them. Or I would set up a plan to...
Isn't that funny? Like, I don't remember once that anyone came back like, wow, Bali was good for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then back to their job. That cracks me up.
Yeah.
Like a normal job, people go off on holidays all the time. But no one ever went... You just quit and went somewhere for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Or just moved state and started again.
Yeah, but there's also not that you don't come back. That was the thing that used to piss everyone off, I remember, is no one wanted to hear about your fucking holiday or your 3 days off or your festival or whatever. It's like, shut up, can't do the...
True.
Right back into it.
No one wants to hear about it.
Yeah. I'm not even asking you why you're so tanned. I'm just gonna,
A tan is an offence.
But then when I was doing all the sales work, that's all those bitches would talk about for 4 weeks is their holiday, their 4 days in Bali or something.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Exactly.
And then they go, oh yeah, we really slummed it in Thailand. And you realise they're staying at like a resort with an infinity pool and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you could have done that here.
Unlimited cocktails.
Yeah. I was like, please tell me about that again.
But I bet
Tell me what your boyfriend did. Tell me that anecdote about what your boyfriend did that one time. Like, fuck. So.
I bet you even in that job you didn't take a holiday.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't have even made sense.
No, it actually worked out quite well because I was unfairly dismissed one case, thank you, and got because
no, it's not even. No, I just hit it.
Commie.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was out there. Yeah, but that worked out well because they paid me out the holiday pay, and then the way they worked out the payment was like because I had so much built up. And something like I can't remember how it was.
And you still didn't go on. I haven't been on a holiday in a long time. I went to Broome for a week and a half, like a year and a half ago. That was the first time in like maybe 8-9 years.
Yeah. 2020 was pretty much a holiday though.
Yeah.
So I feel like, except that we wanted to travel. That was a plan for that year, is to get the fuck out, take Lily everywhere, go see rallies everywhere overseas.
Well, that didn't happen, did it?
No, we were, stuck in the fucking house. The absolute opposite of that happened.
There was one time during COVID where my parents were over here.
We were told to relax a lot.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was fine with it. I was fine with indoors.
Absolutely loved it. I loved it. And then I taught Lily heaps of shit.
Yeah.
But because you have to.
I was fine with it. But there was one time when my parents came over and there was like I got COVID and they came to see me and we were on both sides of my window and I'm just waving at them like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hi, though.
Yeah. My favourite one still, I think about this off and on. My favourite one from COVID was when the AFL went back.
Yes.
And they went for the coin toss.
Yes.
And everyone had to be exactly 1.5 metres away from each other. And they did the coin toss without fucking looking at each other. I think the umpires even had like masks on. In the middle of the ground, they did the coin toss to say which way you're going to go.
Yep.
And then they sort of walked up and did this mystery elbow bump without touching each other.
This.
And then they blew the whistle and just hugged each other and sweated on each other and spat at each other. Fucking, yeah. For what, 2 hours?
2 hours.
Yeah. And then they all went, all right, COVID's back on.
You put your mask on.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't make those AFL players wear masks while playing.
Yeah.
That would have been the best.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated that.
Yeah. I reckon they would have been all right with it.
With the mask on?
I reckon you would just go, just tackle me once. I fucking lost my mask, bro.
Yeah, sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Is that your mask? Yeah. Just littered masks all over this AFL ground.
Or just the one time someone collapses. The one that I also remember early on was halfway through a Utah Jazz game. They shut the game down because they found somebody had COVID in the arena.
Yes.
They just stopped the game halfway and everyone went home.
I think it was one of the players.
It was, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
And he like coughed at the press conference and touched and licked and touched all the
They
microphones
fucking
as a
hated
joke.
him for ages.
Yeah.
Poor
How
fella.
funny is it now, though?
Ridiculous.
It's hilarious now.
But it
like,
was
it's
ridiculous.
hilarious he did that and then had to like apologize like he was going to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now you can have COVID and just go to work. Did you
We've
know
got
that?
we cured COVID by just not getting tested anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's the cure. Just don't get tested and you don't have it.
Yeah, Kerry Ann's sister went to work.
You're not positive or negative. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not. It was incredible. It was so life threatening that every restaurant in the world had to shut down.
Yeah.
Thank God, because
Yeah.
a lot of us got out of the industry,
Yeah.
but the rest of us lost our businesses.
You can sneeze and cough in public now as well.
Yeah, I still don't like to. School's still scary.
Yeah, but don't get people going,
Yeah.
there's one among us.
Oh, there was a time
Zombie
where
among us.
I was walking to the cafe around the corner and I forgot my mask, and the dread that I felt like 50 meters from the cafe, like, oh no, I haven't got a mask to go into this.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I saw one on the ground, a mask,
Yeah.
that had been broken on one side. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm doing that.
Just take it.
Yeah, so I just tied one bit around my ear and then
Yeah.
ridiculous.
When I worked at the butcher shop, nobody signed in. And for you had the sign-ins, they came on. You had to like sign in, get the app or whatever. And then you had to be vaccinated or...
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, we just used to let anyone in. No one did it. Not one person stopped. I think 4 people I saw in like a year. And even then, half the time, we didn't even register. So like half the time, we just took it off the nightclub next door and put it on the QR code.
Yeah.
It just said like Bayview Terrace nightclub.
Yeah.
And no one signed it anyway.
It was the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And it was happening during the comedy festival as well. So they said, no one can come to the Perth Fringe. So maybe this was 3 years ago, right? 2?
Would be 3 now. 2021 is when here, or sort of late-ish 2021, is when they all went, nah, you can't even go into a venue. You can't even, you have to wear, that's when they started with the mask bullshit too.
And you had to
From
prove,
memory, from
so you
memory.
either had to scan in and show the bouncer that you had been vaccinated,
yep.
or you were allowed to have a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because some people might just print off a piece of paper
Yeah.
and do whatever the fuck they want
Yep.
because it's a piece of paper.
Totally.
And then you look at the security guard.
Like, the
and
butcher shop was not a nightclub.
Yeah, the security
But we're
guard
okay.
wasn't the government. He wasn't like, oh, I really can't wait to catch people not vaccinated. He was like, this is more of a job now.
Yeah.
So he's just like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So they weren't checking anything either.
We had this is another fun one because I worked on for a couple of days a week at Wanneroo Street Food as well, Sterling Street Food as well. They put in food trucks in parks. It's fucking cool, right? You can get like 3,000 people at the park and there's fucking cool trucks, right? So I like doing that a couple of days a week, helping them out, whatever. And the funnest thing about that was the check-ins because like, again, no one did it, but you'd have a poll with a QR code for a park and open air. Everything was checked off. You shouldn't have to do any of this by this changing whatever.
Yes.
Like weekly changing rules. Every week you'd go, what are we going to do down the park today? Like, you're supposed. So when you're supposed to get to the park, you're supposed to check in at the park.
Yeah.
And then you got to write down what you are, but you don't have to show you've been vaxxed. That was the other thing. And you didn't have to wear a mask if you were a certain, if you could stay away, and you're a family group. So you
Right.
could just say, this is my uncle.
But it's not.
No way. They were all like.
But who's enforcing it? Who's down there at the park?
That was me, supposed to be, or us.
you?
Or whoever the company was that put it on Wanneroo Street Food.
It's not going to happen.
What are we going to do? Go, vax card.
No.
Who belongs to who here? Yeah.
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 How do you show that you're someone's brother? Like, do you both show your driver's license or
Yeah.
something?
But also, they were some of those things you could go to as well. And like anti-vaxxers loved it You could tell anti-vaxxers, they would just walk around just going, fuck, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, number one, we're not even checking. So it's not a flex.
Yeah.
but they loved it.
They're texting all their friends like, bro, I'm breaking the law right now.
But I felt bad for restaurants, obviously. All the brick and mortar places, because they had to do real hard bullshit and get whatever. But we could just go down the park and just fully flaunt the rules. Yeah. And no one would care.
And some of
but
these
no one would know we hadn't done it either.
Yeah.
So what we would do was like, just make sure some people were writing in there. Like I would always sign in, so at least that's one line that some
3,000 people to sign-ins.
Dude, we wouldn't even. So like, then like they used to laugh when I did it because I'd say it was literally like a notepad like that, and you just had the date, whatever you had to write in it, date, venue, who it is, company's name, and I would just change the part because no one signed in, so I just to cross out like Yanchep and write fucking Dog Swamp or whatever the park was, and then he'd be like, you can't do that, because I'd get like 4 down and it'd be like park, and he'd be like, the date would be just crossed out. No one would sign in. Oh. Or I'd have a sign-in sheet and just go, yeah, that's from today.
What shambles.
Yeah.
Because I sit on the side of conspiracy theory a little bit.
I noticed, yeah.
It was an interesting time, dude.
Yeah, but that's not a conspiracy theory. We fully lived through it.
Yeah, I know. But those people, like some of my mates, like fully frothed it, got like right deep in. And it made a lot of sense. I was like, I didn't want to buy into like...
Oh, into the conspiracy about...
The totalitarian aspect to it all. Because it was too much. Like, it looked ridiculous. I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing. But my mates are like, dude, this is the end of the world. Yeah. This is the first step to Agenda 23.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you guys are making a lot of sense right now.
Yeah.
Because it's just so ridiculous. There's QR codes. You got to sign in.
Yeah.
They're going to barcode you next.
Yeah.
They haven't done any of that. They've given up.
They did. Well, I mean, they did, because you are, if you have your smartphone on you, you are now an avatar. So that's you're your own avatar. Like, there is a barcode.
Yeah, but what if I throw
You have to have this with a barcode on it, or a piece of paper with a barcode. They've already barcoded you.
Have they?
They had. You know when you...
Oh, they did?
You had to...
Yeah, but like...
to prove your identity, and then you got a fucking barcode.
Right,
said,
but literally...
Yeah, I get what you're
saying,
it
into our
but
skin.
They did. Yeah. They found a way to do it. You couldn't leave the house without your own individual barcode.
Maybe it's one of those mind fucks where you're like, we're going to burn you in the skin with a barcode. We're like, oh, I'm not taking that. And then they just flip it back to on your phone.
Because I was officially an essential worker during that time.
As a content creator?
No. I was doing like 1 or 2 days a week in the city at Santini. Like still chefing, but yeah. So I got laid off just before 2020, like Christmas 2019. So it was perfect. And then obviously COVID hit, so it was like, I was already in that. I was freaking out more than I needed a job straight away, because I had my job just cut in one day. Nothing to do with COVID. And I was freaking out more about that than when COVID hit. I was like, oh, okay, well, no one's got a job. This is actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? I don't have to look for a job, because they're telling people not to work, essentially, right?
Yeah.
At that time, it would have been, we got like 2 days a week, doing like brekkie shifts at Santini in the city. That was just because of a mate. And I was like, you got any work? I've been, and people actually felt bad for me that I got like absolutely rimmed by this place.
But then won the case later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was even at a job. Yeah. I was even working at a job and taking these phone calls, these conference calls with the mediator from Fair Work Australia. Like, so even then I was working. I was in like warehouse work, whatever, 2 days, whatever. Not really looking for work, but also kind of needed work. I didn't think this COVID really wasn't a thing until like June or July or May, actually. I remember them saying people aren't coming to the country. So the hotel was like empty. So they're like, full-timers are going to stay first, casuals go, like.
Did it change your life, the COVID scenario?
Yeah, it was wicked.
Yeah.
And then I felt really good about it. It was just like calm, like I don't have to fucking do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and my wife was freaking out about like the bills and the mortgage and all that sort of stuff.
But I
was like, well, you can't, everyone's in the same boat, if not worse. Financially, I reckon we were like, that's cool. We obviously can't pay off the house. We have savings and all bits and pieces going on. And she could work from home and all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
I was just calm about it.
I had just come back from like my first Melbourne comedy festival doing spots, and I was like, I'm gonna move to Melbourne.
Yeah.
That's my only option, is to move to Melbourne and try and go full-time comedy. And I didn't know what was happening with my kid. I thought he was going back to Argentina.
Yeah.
And I was out of here. I was done with chefing, and then COVID hit and I had to stay.
Yeah.
And I had a girlfriend-ish at the time, and she came over as COVID was starting, so she was staying with me for a bit. And yeah, and eventually, like, I had to stay here, so I ended up staying, and my son ended up staying, and then I met Kerry Ann, and now I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
So I would have been over there and going solo, and yeah, I don't know, poor as shit, living on someone's couch trying to do spots. Who knows what I'd be doing?
I reckon I wouldn't be. I was done with sales. I was like good at it. Means nothing. Shit. Horrible. Just lie all day, eh?
You just lie all day?
That's what they want. They want you to just lie all day.
About what?
Everything.
Like
You're trying to get people to buy shit.
The price of stuff? Are
No.
you manipulating the price of things?
No.
But you can
Well,
drop
maybe
it.
when I sold it, just, yeah, maybe just throw a discount in there sometimes or whatever. Use what you can. Use whatever tools you can.
They are slippery motherfuckers though, aren't they?
It's more like this is always the best, or this is why the other people that sell this is shit. You know, that was frozen.
Yeah.
It's just like that. I never got really into it.
That doesn't sound like your type of personality.
Yeah, but like people came across. Yeah, but it's the same thing with everything. It comes across really honest when you are honest, and they tend to eventually. It just takes a longer time. But so I got like massive accounts doing that. Just going, you don't really have to buy off me, but
I'm a cool dude.
Yeah, and I knew loads of chefs too.
That was your pitch.
Yeah,
I'm a cool guy.
So I could find something, and they'd spend like $1,000 a week. And you're like, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't have done any of that. Like, I knew a lot of people told me coming out of chefing, like it seemed like that was the only move, going to selling to chefs. And I was like, I just got to get out of this whole thing. And I didn't know.
That's because that's the only thing you see. Like, you see the rep, and they're always ex-hospo.
Yeah, but, yeah. Look, and I totally get it, man. You're 35. You don't want to do this. You don't know what you want to do.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And that's an immediate paycheck as well, that stuff. And you can still have, something. But going completely to, like, I don't know anything about the next whatever I'm doing is brutal.
I had job interviews for more sales work after I got let go as well.
Yeah.
Just cause I got to have a job. And I think I got down to like big jobs too. I got down to like the final whatevers. I can't remember what happened. I definitely didn't ring somebody back. But then you got the feeling like, you know what I mean? If you don't want the job, I don't even want to start it.
Yeah.
If I can get, I'll just get 3 days a week here with my mate, and then I help Pero out during, just after after all that bullshit with the COVID and everything.
Yeah.
The big shutdowns.
So brutal for the industry as well. Hey, like,
warehouse work was wicked though. I did warehouse work for a while.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't relax though. I think I've said this before. I had to keep working. I couldn't switch off at that stage where I was like, just be a lazy cunt.
Yeah.
I had to push,
Yeah, so.
I had to sweep a heap.
But I'm
I had
okay
to
with that.
work at a high level. But I was like, what the fuck am I? Even then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But if I didn't, and probably what I noticed is if I didn't sort of like keep myself chugging along at a high rep rate, if I got bored, I completely switch off and I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, but that's where you start being all the other cockroaches that work there.
Yeah.
That's what they end up being.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that's what they attract. They retain the staff that are like that naturally. Just lazy, fucking slow-moving, jibber-jabber, yip-yap bullshit.
But those people get by. Like, I can't even do that. Like, I can't. I'd have to completely
they do it for
stop.
6 years and say, why haven't I been promoted to semi-warehouse worker? And you're like, have you... I looked at you for 2 minutes and we're not my friend. Like, I was like, I don't want to...
Yeah, it's weird, though. But it's like, it's on work ethic.
It's a satisfaction thing.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
You were judging people on their work
the
ethic. But we work ourselves under the table, That's something I got to keep in check regularly. Even this fucking last 3 weeks, I'm like, fuck. I'm like amping up my work level, and I'm not like keeping a balanced amount of work.
Yeah, but then I get annoyed as well about if I haven't heard back from people about work, and then eventually I always hear back. It's just like, I know you've seen this shit. All that sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that you hadn't started any content stuff. Are you doing stuff the last
I've got
couple
stuff
of weeks?
coming up here. Yeah. But I've got stuff. I've got more stuff coming
How's
up.
the burger channel?
Which one?
You just started the new burger one. It's just burgers.
Oh, on TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like 15,000 followers or something, yeah. It's just everything I've ever shot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world.
We just shot something with this foodie guy in Armidale trying to find...
Oh, I saw that, Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. And did you see the comments? Jasky just told me today. Everyone's like,
one?
dude, Perth dude food.
Yeah.
He's the number one guy.
Yeah, I'm just out here silent and doing God's work. I think I wrote on one of them.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, someone wrote, because the only reason, the first time I saw it was because I got mentioned. So whatever the first mention was, which I don't really look on TikTok. I don't really look on the notifications of TikTok. Mainly because it's just like when you get shit going that viral, it's just like it's just like a churning machine. So it's like you either look at it and I don't know, beat yourself off. I don't know what people do with their like that sort of stuff.
I would say so.
But what do I noticed that? Yeah, and it said like it said I suppose. I guess Perth dude food doesn't exist. And I just replied, just over here silently doing God's work.
Yeah, I didn't know Ryan at all, so he came on the channel and did a food review. The idea was to do a food review in the worst suburb because it's so easy to do food reviews in good places.
Yeah, except for Perth dude food.
Yeah, except for the boss.
Who fucking slums it everywhere.
Yeah.
Who likes being the gutter rat. Yeah.
And then, we eventually got him.
I love that premise, though. I watched it, but I like the premise of it.
Because the people as well, like, none of it's staged, right?
Yeah,
so the first guy was like, go to Subway. The second guy was like, go to KFC.
Right.
And we had to dig to try to find a way to make it work.
I kind of felt that was natural. And then, which they all are, but like... Yeah, I didn't know how it was going to end up because I thought you might end up at a place Ryan handles.
No.
There's some inside baseball, but
no,
but it wasn't.
No.
Out
of the blue, and like the universe always provides on these things. Out of the blue, this kid gets out of his car and comes over and causes excitement and talks about Wok in the Box.
You're right.
Like fucking.
Maybe I didn't watch all of it.
Ding.
Maybe
there's a few different. There's shorts and if it's TikTok, it's the long form.
It was definitely TikTok.
Anyway, it's good to see your name mentioned because I also thought, wow, is he Perth's best?
Doesn't matter. Words don't mean anything. Words don't mean anything on social media.
No.
The one people do a lot is they'll say Perth's best pasta, and they put a question mark after it. So it satisfies all the... It's so stupid. I used to do it as a joke until... Like everything I do it as a joke until I'm going, shit, I'm actually part of this fucking machine now. Yeah. Satire's become real life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it satisfies every... the search engine requirement for it. So people are literally searching Perth's best pasta. But you're going, pasta?
Yeah.
Like with a question mark, which doesn't mean shit. So TikTok's value, it's like, all right, we'll throw that out to whoever's searching for it, and that's a common search term. And if you get everything else right, but then your content can't be complete shit all the time.
I went to a barber the other day, and...
You can easily see those invite squads, man.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, they just invite like 12 people to the same spot, and they all take the same photo of the same pizza, and they said the same thing about it. And
it's a hustle.
Yeah, but it's also a friendship group, so I get that. I get they all sort of like doing it. It's a common, but it's very frustrating when you see it and you're like, I actually like that pizza, and now I kind of don't want to go there anymore. It's weird.
I went to a barber, and he was talking about how he used TikTok. He's traveling, and he uses TikTok to find out where all the good food is and where the good things are to do that aren't like just the crap things that everyone does.
Yeah, and you can see it.
And he said he was like, oh, dude food.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fucking sick, bro.
Yeah.
Because you can just get on TikTok in Perth and then be like, where's the good burger spot? Bam, this guy's done it. And you can check it out in real time. It's like, well, that's handy.
You can also ask me. Like, that's the other thing as well.
Just call you. I don't have your phone number.
No, like, people DM me all day.
Do they?
I actually answer them.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Like a boss.
So, people...
It is God's work. You are right.
Yeah. So, this piece of shit in Bayswater attacked me a couple of times, right? And that he used to attack the commenters on my posts for a while. Not directly, but he'd do it in DMs, and some of his staff members as well would do it. It's not a business I've ever said shit about, or just one of these things is just the way this guy is. And that moved to DMs. So instead of people actually asking in comments, they were asking me DMs. So like people don't really comment that much anymore. Not that I don't think it happens that anymore, but like that's what started it. I noticed it was just like, oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but I kind of want to know what was on that, or
maybe that's
and that it's insane community.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know these people much of the time, but you start to get friendly if someone's chatted to you on DMs for 2 years about food.
Yes.
Because there's super passionate people out there. They're just not filming it, right? Yeah.
And they want to be, oh, maybe that's interesting because I'm
And
getting...
I like when they've been to a place I've had a good experience at and they haven't.
Yeah.
I love talking that through. Not to say you're wrong, right, just, okay, that's...
It's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Because you reckon sometimes maybe people spot you and
vice versa.
Give you the good stuff.
I get yeah, but I mean that's my fault. But I get recognised a lot.
Shave your beard.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out something. And my daughter gets recognised a lot more as well.
Really?
So if we're together, it's on.
I got actually attacked today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were shooting in Midland. The girl fucking keyed my car.
Midland. I love how you've said Midland.
What do you call it?
Midland.
Midland?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like it's Lind, Midland.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Well, I mean...
I've never been to Coburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Razored my car.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
you must have done something to her.
No. Well, she was cracked out.
I'm joking. Yeah, in Midland.
She was cracked out.
Midlands.
We just cause a ruckus in Midland.
Do you know what I've found?
If you have a camera, it just attracts. Well, one, everyone knows the fuck who Jasky is now for some odd reason.
Well, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and then
it's just views.
And then if you've got a camera, it just starts to create like a little bit of energy.
Right.
And then the bums and the crackheads come out, and this woman was off her face, and she was looking for a fight. She followed us around for a while trying to shoot something, and then she wouldn't leave us alone, and then we're just like, and then she started getting quite rowdy.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I haven't started something with my daughter. My daughter wants a YouTube channel, and I could just easily film that. I don't want to be on it. She just, we go to the zoo, or we go do something every Sunday or something. That's half the reason I haven't started doing that a little bit. It's because I know when you start doing it, you get that. I'm not scared of that attention. It happens all often. And it's always good. By the way, I've never had a bad experience with someone walk up say you're a dickhead or something. It's never happened.
Yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of
cool.
We get a lot of positive stuff, but then we get a lot of but we're on the streets. We're out in the slums.
I thought about a fight. I thought about a near mugging the other day that happened to me way back when I was an agency chef. I did when I came back from the UK, I did temp work for fuck all, maybe 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they would send you these weird places. So you're officially a subcontractor. So you'd have your ABN, you'd invoice your hours directly to the business.
Yeah.
But the agency found you the work, and they would send you where to go. Yes. As a text message. So,
I've done that.
Yeah. So you said you're a sole trader essentially, right? Mm-hmm. Which is cool. The Parkerville Tavern we went to, it was one of their agency places. And it's fucking absolute, just at the time, lovely venue. They used to try and keep the bikies out all the time.
How would you keep a bikie out?
Oh, they just do things like no colours, no things, no...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically all the things you
no
are.
Badges.
No beards, no attitude, yeah. Or no bikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How would you enforce that, though?
Oh, don't know. I guess the amount of, I mean,
No
I guess
patches.
if the cops keep coming and harassing you, they don't want that, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, it's just one of those spots. Terrible food. It's all the same shit. It's like julienne veg with a palmy and chips, and just sub out whatever.
Tomato quarters? Like, what are they?
Yeah, it was all that, except it was the same garnish and everything, except the palmy was then a steak, which had 3 of the same sauce, or that was the choice. And people used to get real anal about how you make a Diane sauce. I'm like, it's out of a bucket.
Yeah, was the dry store just buckets of Maggi stock
buckets,
and those mayonnaise buckets and those Dijon?
Yeah. So fun fact, before I'd even done that, I'd worked, I don't know how long I'd worked for in the industry, 5 years. I'd never made a sauce not from scratch. So when I got there, I was like, the fuck? So this big, they wanted me to make a big stock pot of that shit.
Oh,
which
I've done that.
Which is like 2 whole buckets or something. But they look at you like you don't know what you're doing, like you're a piece of shit. Because I was reading the bucket for the instructions. I was like, what is this shit? Yeah. And it reminded me of like how my wife would make the pan gravy when you do a roast. Yeah. Like you put a bit of Gravox in there. So I was like, it's just Gravox. There must be a quantity. Fuck, demi, that's what demi.
Do you know what I did?
Which is not a demi-glace. Like, fuck off.
When I did one of these jobs, I'm not even lying, I put a bouquet garni in it. I felt so bad that I put a bouquet garni, like a big one.
I put herbs
in it.
Well, I started to cut onions. That's why they started laughing at me. Yeah. Because, like, we're making a sauce, right? Yeah. And they're like, we don't need bones. You just use that. I was like, okay, so I'll do everything. I've got to roast everything off first. Do you have any scraps? Like, we have scraps. Everything comes straight out of the freezer, or they're already cut steaks. Like,
it's so nuts, hey?
Oh, it's so backwards to what I was used to. And then I was like, why are they giving me shit? Why are we even wearing chef jackets? Like, everything about it. There's always the guy with the filthy hat. The filthy hat. It's the same hat every day.
A white hat. Oh, no, a cap.
Just like a cap. Yeah. But it's like the filthiest, because he's had it on for 2 years.
Yeah, and he'll like dump stuff in the fryer and then he'll touch his hat.
Yeah, that's his hat. Yeah. Those sort of guys. And then they would brag about how long they were at Spice's Catering or all these places I still hadn't heard of, and for fucking good measure too. Yeah. But they would give you cash. So you'd up your hours, pretend you worked fucking an extra day, write it on your invoice, and you'd give them like a handwritten invoice and give it to them at the end of the week. Sometimes if you weren't there on the Sunday, that's the day they paid or something. I can't remember. So, like, sometimes there'd be guys that had been there 2 weeks and hadn't got their pay. I was only there for, like, a couple of days, so they probably owed me maybe $1,500 or something in cash, which is cool. It was a good high rate of pay, just terrible work. Terrible
Sounds
people.
like it.
And they're just in the... you can imagine the people that hire agency staff are the ones that can't get chefs to work there, so that's the sort of places. I didn't know that when I signed up, but the money was good. And straight away after coming back from UK. So this guy... had worked there he worked there 12 days over 2 weeks. So he was owed like fucking $6-7 grand in cash. And he was like, well, I missed last week. You got to have it. They don't even blink at this, by the way. They were just like, yep, they went to the safe, got the money. We were going out the back and some guys go, in hindsight, it's a very easy mugging because like it's late at night. You're the last ones to leave as a chef, right? And if you're just hovering around the bar, you see people just give over thousands of bucks every time. You're like, we're going to get one of those guys. Yeah. Last 2 cars in the car park, right? So we were walking out, and these 2 guys came out of fucking nowhere. But also, it's Parkerville, no lights, just like pitch black.
Car park?
Yeah, but it's like dirt. Yeah. It's just like, you can't see shit. These guys come out of nowhere, and they're like,
But they're just like,
Yeah. But there was that calm. They were that calm, dude. They were bit of cash, boys, something like that.
Nice, that's better.
And I immediately clocked it for what it was and said, "Fucking not today. This is bullshit." And just went on this rant about how they didn't pay us, and that's all they needed. And while I was doing it, we were just slowly walking to my car. You know, like, this is bullshit. Fuck this place. I'm never coming back. Meanwhile, our pockets are full of cash. Like, we didn't even put it anywhere. Just in our chef pants.
Just dragging your feet along the ground.
This other guy shat. I fucking saved the cunt's life, man. He was like, he shat and he was like, went into his pocket. And I was looking at him going, if you pull money out, I'm fucked too. Like, you know, he was just fight or flight. No,
you just got to kick him down, let the money come out, and then run.
Yeah, even in my head when I was saying it, I'm going to dog him. Like, if I need to. I just be like, if he pulls out money, I just
Yeah.
go, except for this guy, they won't pay me, but that, you know,
Totally.
like, yeah.
Now you're pegging it. That's
Yeah.
fucking, you're on your own.
I couldn't believe how, I guess maybe because I got mugged a couple of times as a kid, but maybe it was just
In
like,
England?
no,
in
well,
America?
in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that, yeah. But
No,
I just clocked it so quick. But also, it's dark, so everything looks a bit sketchy, right? And these boys, they were they're actually real calm.
Were they?
It made me feel like they weren't mugging us, but then they definitely were because they hung around for some. We told
Bit of cash, boys.
we told the staff, or we told whoever it was,
What's the next
and
move?
they came around the next time as well.
What's
But
the
they-
next move? A bit of cash, boys, and then punch in the face.
I guess.
Yeah.
Hand it over. Where are you going to run to?
Yeah.
We're literally in the bush.
I reckon that my mate reckons he saved us today. I put my camera in my car and I had my tripod on me as this girl was getting fucking rowdier and rowdier. And she was completely deranged. Like she, out of her mind.
She's in the Midlands.
She was in the Midlands of her mind.
Full
And my mate, who's black,
mid.
he's like got his hand in his little pocket. What are they called? Bum bag?
Bum bags.
Shoulder bag?
I refuse to call them anything but fanny packs.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to mace you. You know that old line?
Yeah.
Let me crack this mace. I want to get you.
Yeah.
I haven't cracked it yet.
You gotta be so confident like that. You gotta say that sort of stuff, like oh please let me mace you. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
exactly.
fucking
That's what he was
hilarious. Yeah.
saying. And I was like,
please let it happen.
I could see it from a mile away. There was no point talking to her. She was out of her mind.
Yeah.
But he did step up front and give her a little bit of gusto with his pretend mace.
Yeah, and he pull out his fucking lip balm.
Yeah, and I had a full tripod, hey, and I was just like,
I reckon you would have all been thinking, what have I got to use if need be?
I was really thinking there's no way I can do anything to this woman.
Yeah.
Because I will be in a lot of trouble.
I reckon I would have kicked her knee.
I was going to smack her knee with my tripod, but then it's like it only escalates to her getting in heaps of trouble.
Yeah.
Like she's going to get beat down. But I don't want to beat down a woman.
No.
I just want to get out of there. So she keyed my car a little bit and I drove off.
Yeah, you probably should have let a woman beat you up. That is
not going to happen on my watch. No
just to
way.
do with a tripod. We get the
But I reckon my mate was like, fucking save those two dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on him. Well done.
I think, and the other thing I thought the weirdest thoughts. I remembered that Parkerville thing, and then I started to think like, you know, like teppanyaki chefs. You know the
Yes.
chefs that perform the thing in the grill, the Japanese ones.
Yeah, I'm a chef, bro. You have to tell me what teppanyaki is, dude.
Yeah, but like someone might not know.
Oh, because I'm racist.
I don't know.
You're talking about Asian chefs, right?
Yeah. Lot just came out of their feet.
Open kitchen? Open kitchen, Asian chefs?
So we just assume everyone knows what a teppanyaki chef is and move on. They always seem to be so nice.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I would be like that. There's no way I'd be like, oh, you're on the teppanyaki grill.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what? I'd be like, yeah. And they're doing all the cool things. I like that bit about it. It's a bit of theatre. But I found it, I would sort of giggle to myself in the car. I was like, fuck, imagine if there was just an angry teppanyaki chef. Like zero tolerance, like typical back of house worker, but being put in the front and going, do tricks and do this shit.
Isn't it a lot like the oyster station? Do you remember that when you used to when you used to come across? What day did they put that on?
But that's what I mean about...
Oh, race day.
I don't know. We used to have it
Melbourne
Thursdays
Cup
and
Day.
Fridays at fucking places.
And you're just a back of house chef and they're like, you're on oyster station and you're like,
But they look at you. You do 3 oysters and you're like, I need to clean down.
Oh.
Like this is grit.
Yeah.
Like I could do back of house. I can go chick 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 like that. If someone's watching me and going, I'll have 6. I go, fuck you, cunt.
I'm breaking the shell.
In my head, I go, fuck you, dickhead. I have 12, cunt. And I'm going, they're all fucking up. Stabbing myself in the eye.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
and
like
you always have a band. Like that's when you get really conscious of how injured you are. Because not to do with shucking, but you'll realise, shit, I've got burns everywhere. I've got a Band-Aid on this pinky. And you're realising people are looking at you. And you're like...
And you're realising how messy you are.
Yeah.
Because back a house, you can kind of like... It doesn't clock... If there's a bit of mess or something...
You'll keep it, contained and you just wipe
But if someone's
it.
watching you in a suit and you're just like...
Yeah.
"Whoop," And you couldn't even use the tea towel? Like, we used to have to do it without the tea towel and make it look
you have to
super
do
nice.
it like in front of them with the thing, and then make sure. And also, like when you dip it in the ice or the salty water or whatever you've got going on to make it, it gets dirty real quick. So that just looks like murky bullshit. But like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Is teppanyaki Japanese or Korean?
I thought you knew what teppanyaki was.
Because wouldn't it be funny that like that's just
Definitely
how
Japanese.
Isn't that maybe that's just how it is wherever it comes from? You know, like that's how they do kitchens.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Well, no, I just think
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
when you've either got it or you don't. That's what I think. You're either a teppanyaki dude or you're not.
Yeah, and pay those guys a fortune because I'm not doing it. Because they flick it into your mouth and all kinds of shit. Hey,
Yeah, they make the little... Yeah, it's all cool stuff. I like it.
It's a show.
But I would get angry, like, really quick about things.
Yeah.
Like, why are you asking me questions while I'm doing this? Or, why are you laughing at that bit?
But it's cool if people clap when you do stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know? You make an omelette and they clap.
I'd also be thinking, like, I'll be doing a countdown of the prep I'm using while I'm doing it, while I'm cooking it.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, that bitch wants... Oh, you all want a steak. Oh, it's 4 more I need to fucking prep. Yeah.
No, I like those hot pot places where they just cook it all themselves. That's...
Yeah.
You're just doing prep, no service.
There's a good one in my house, eh?
Oh, yeah?
It's fucking so good. You just go grab it or put it in a bowl. They weigh it and you get charged by weight.
Yeah?
And then they just bring it out to you. You choose the broth.
Yeah?
Fucking good, dude.
Wait, they go and cook it and then bring it out?
Yeah.
There's ones where it's boiling.
I know what you're talking about. That's cool.
Yeah.
But these other ones, you just get a bowl, you fill it up with everything, and just give it to them. And then they bring it up with this, basically make it like,
No menu. No.
There's a menu on like what broth do you want and what heat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
What?
Like I wouldn't need it. I'd just be like, bam, 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 bam. Give me that medium to hot. Rock on.
Yeah, but that's how you order.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's cut things out.
Yeah.
Let's cut out waiters. Let's cut out menus. Let's cut out service.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
If you're a grumpy...
Way too much, man. I could have shared it between two. As well. Fuck, it was tasty. You know, there's really nice, hot, tomato-y sort of broth, like tom yum and things like that.
Yeah.
That's sort of what it was like.
Yeah, yeah.
You could put everything you wanted in there. Then I put a couple of Frankfurter cocktail Franks in there.
Gravox, bouquet garni, 3 tomatoes.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. One unroasted fucking...
the picture in my mind
onion.
is this like thin gravy that was boiling over, and I was watching it and I was like, I can't handle this. And I went into the cool room and I like just bound up whatever I could find, rosemary and bay leaf and stuff. And I came back and I just put it in because I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't.
You just wanted something in there.
I couldn't deal with it.
I reckon if I did that, one of those guys would have like pulled it out like it was, and then probably called it, if I had to guess, who put the tampon in the soup or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and then you would be called tampon for the rest of the shift.
Yeah.
There's these sort of blokes, and you're like, oh, now there's no point even explaining what that is to you, is there?
No.
Yeah. No.
I'm definitely not saying the words bouquet garni.
I don't remember the last time I made one though.
Yeah. I used to love, you used to froth one every now and then. You're like, whoa, this deserves a bouquet garni.
No.
No?
We always used to go in, but just at separate times, I suppose.
Oh, I used to enjoy them at certain times. I'm like, yes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to get one together. That was special.
Okay.
For whatever.
I couldn't have cared less.
Whatever.
But I liked the people that did that.
I also liked having a basting spoon in my pocket.
I have to.
Which wasn't...
You
I'm
have
like,
to.
oh, I'm going to baste. Douche, 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 douche.
You have to have it. Spoons everywhere.
Yeah.
Touch my spoons. I used to get annoyed at that. I have to have the spoons and the things.
Yeah, and a little a little new water in the spoon
Let my basic
mid-service.
ones over by wherever I could.
Have you ever heard of something called sweep mop? This is
Go on.
sweep mop.
Sweet or sweep?
Sweep.
Sweep mop.
Yeah.
Go on.
So at the end of the night, in a bad place,
Yeah.
maybe, could be,
Yeah.
you've got a sweep and then you've got a mop. But you can do a sweep mop where you're mopping and sweeping at the same time.
With a mop?
Yeah.
Wet mop?
Wet? Well, yes. Not so wet, not super wet. It takes a real
Yeah, I've seen that.
proper chef to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good. It's
No.
hilarious to watch, though.
Yeah.
Like, so you'll be mopping and you're like, you know when you're picking bits up when you're mopping because you haven't swept, obviously, but you're kind of getting enough liquid down that you're kind of cleaning and sweeping at the same time?
Yeah.
Sweep mop.
Yeah. You just keep putting that in the bucket, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but like not all of it's, you know, you're kind of like
I get it,
bringing it forward as you go.
Yeah.
So not all of it's going to go in the bucket. You're actually going to make a little pile that you can sweep up.
That is definitely, because like the temp chef, I just did it for barely any time at all. But that's what's one of the things I noticed is like nobody cared about the place. There was no sous or head chefs. There was just nobody. So nobody cared about any of the joints I was at with that agency because there's no boss. So they were doing shit like that.
Yeah.
So out of sight, we're good to go. So it was all like people just sweeping like this under the benches and things like that. And you're like, Jesus. After a week of that, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I don't understand. I've never understood that about the industry where like the shitter the place, the more you get paid, the less you care.
Yeah, but that's because no one wants to work there. They have to pay to people to stay, I suppose.
Yeah, no one that cares about what they're doing wants to work there, but heaps of shit people are going to work there.
Yeah.
Because they get paid a lot to do.
That's what they pay a
all.
lot. Yeah. Yep.
But if you care about what you're doing, you're going to go to a place that pays you less and works you more.
I guess.
Which is weird.
To a point where you are starting to get paid because of your experience, or depending if you're in the same city that you know people in or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, for sure.
Yeah, just an
Definitely.
interesting part. I mean, hopefully things have changed now. I reckon we're on a new industry standard, which is good.
I don't know, man. Good
for all those people out there getting paid proper.
It's good for someone messaged. So speaking of that, it's a whole bloke. I don't know how old he is, but he sent me a menu from his first menu when he was an apprentice, and it was 1978 or something like that. And I was like, "Fuck, dude!" The steak on there was, I want to say, $6, $5, and you got a sauce and fucking sides with it.
Yeah.
And then he brought home $47.50 a week. And that's to give his mum. He said he had to give his mum $10 board.
Wow.
So he took home $37.
Dude, rent was still a quarter.
But then when I worked that out, when I worked that out to today, say a steak is $37, right?
You're joking, but yes.
But say it is. Like, I mean, first steak on the menu at my apprenticeship was easily between $34 and $38, depending what it was. 32 maybe if it was like, yeah.
Mm.
Yep. If there was a main dish. Hasn't much changed. It's gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, it has. Somebody's got to give there.
Do you remember when
Meat
Chateau
prices have gone up like 80% in that time?
Yeah, it's fucking outrageous. Do you remember when Chateaubriand was like a massive thing?
Yeah, but it's not like they ever used the right. It was just like fillet.
Yeah, it was the end of the fillet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like the biggest thing in the world. It was like, ooh, the Chateaubriand for $2.
I just think it's just the name no one knew yet, and now they know it and they're bored of it, and then we moved on to.
Yeah, because you couldn't roll it either. Well, you could roll it, but it didn't work.
Like filet mignon in the US is just fillet steak.
Mm.
Like everywhere it was at, this is just fillet steak, but the fillet mignon is the tail end of it. We just fuck around with it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like more tender or something. Like, fuck off, God.
I haven't had a fillet steak in a long time.
I don't really like them.
Yeah.
You'd have to be some aged one that I don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Chateaubriand was like a huge...
$62.
Well, they used to charge a fortune because it was just that end. And there was like obviously one per fillet, but like it was just like a slop. It was just like falling apart and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like nice like everything else.
Yeah, I remember trusting a lot of them like that. But even then, once you're untrusted and you have to carve it, I think I can't imagine this.
We never used to carve them.
I can't imagine not carving it anywhere it was. So at least you can get that looking something.
There was a time in history when you didn't carve any steaks.
Yeah, but that's a big, if that's for two, we'd always carve that. We want to serve it to you on a, who carves that then?
They do. Yeah.
See-
It used to be a double share thing.
Yeah, I get it's shared.
Yeah, it's like a bigger
But
plate.
But then they're...
I think mashed potato underneath, if I'm fucking remembering correctly.
Yes, but then they just go at it and...
They just go at it.
You're right, okay. That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
It's actually, yeah,
It's like $60.
that's amusing. Yeah, but we would definitely have cut it up, even if it was on puree or something. Just... I like shit like that, though. Like, I like anything, not particularly that steak or anything, but like things you can share like that, but easily done. Like if you had a shoulder of lamb whole, but you could just rip it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. All that shit, just put it there.
Yeah, I like
It's
community
always
eating.
Yeah. That putting a whole fillet in front of someone and saying "go at it, cunt." Like I don't know.
It's not a good choice, but
No,
you know, we're
but
talking-
I like. I wouldn't like being there. I would also find it very funny. I also feel like, "Where's yours?
It's-
This is
yeah.
mine." You know, like
it's very
my steak.
more European. I love community eating.
Yeah,
Lots of share,
this is all I do now. Yeah,
lots of moving around, lots of like grabbing. I feel like that's the only way to eat.
it's the perfect way to get kids involved in eating real food that isn't fucking nuggets and fish fingers and bullshit.
Yeah.
Past the point of yeah.
Unless it's a proper deco. I'm actually excited to go down south and get like a proper degustation and have a look at good food.
There's a wicked one at next door. There's a Wagyu one. I think it's February 8th. I don't know why I'm remembering this. It's a mate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's going to do a Wagyu degustation.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Uh,
Should look at the menu.
Every course is
Yep.
Wagyu.
Yeah, it's just like a like a wine dinner. They pair it with the same wine, of same company's wine.
Yeah.
It's that, but it's all using.
Let's have a look at this menu. That sounds sick.
Hang on.
And what, they have to have every course with Wagyu?
Yeah, so I can read it out if you want.
Yeah, please.
So the first one is obviously. Oh, you can assume how big these are too, because there's 7 courses.
Yeah.
6.
Hopefully super tiny.
Your potato bread and bone marrow butter. Obviously, that's the marrow.
Cool.
Right.
Wagyu marrow.
Yeah.
I like that. Potato bread. Very nice.
Second, you got the beef fat hash brown.
Fucking straight into the
It
heavies.
could be anything.
Is
Wagyu tartare,
this third?
bone marrow. This is second. This is all still second.
Wow, okay.
Bone marrow emulsion and fried shallots. If I can eat that all day. Third, black and blue carpaccio.
Black and blue carpaccio. Yes. With?
Parmesan. That's pretty standard. Horseradish cream, wood-fired mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, kiwi and black pepper intercostal.
What the fuck is that?
I wouldn't know what the kiwi bit is, but it might be kiwi,
New Zealand.
like fruit, but it might
Ah.
also be New Zealand, yeah. Well, this is for the same Wagyu farm, though, but it's
yeah.
not New Zealand.
I would say, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put kiwi on that, but anyway.
I don't know.
New Zealand shit.
I guess so. Candied lime avocado cream.
Candied lime avocado cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. I don't know about the kiwi bit. Be interesting to see what that is, though.
Hmm.
Might be anything.
Hmm. This is why we need a phone number so we can call people. Yeah.
Wagyu sirloin with fire roasted chimichurri. That's obviously
Yes.
an absolute win. 6 course. This is cool. Well, I think this will be cool. Wagyu fat salted caramel. Chocolate tart with chantilly cream.
Wagyu fat salted caramel.
I'm
Yes.
so into that.
And then what's the next bit?
Chocolate tart and chantilly.
Chantilly cream chocolate tart. Yeah, cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I'm imagining that's just that salted caramel will just be it's garnish on.
I'm surprised there's no
Tart cream.
jerky, like jerky crumb or something.
It's got to be. Maybe that's what the kiwi bit is. It's got to be something.
There's got to be a jerky crumb somewhere.
Yeah, they're not going to list everything.
Hmm.
Anyway, I saw that today.
I want the surprise.
Yeah. I rate that more than I rate that you like, okay, cool, full thing.
Yeah.
You could go nuts with that, eh?
Yeah. That's when I like it. So we'll talk about this at one point. I can't just make it up off my head, but once I get like a parameter, I'm like, oh. So when he said carpaccio, I thought, oh, maybe like some kind of orange. I don't know why. I was like, orange, carpaccio. That would be interesting. So I can start to like play like that, but I can't just go from scratch. Like, what's your menu? I'm like, ugh. Like I need some parameters. You know?
Right.
Like we have lamb. Good. I can start with that. I'm good to go.
Okay.
What is around? You
Yeah.
know? What have we got?
I normally just ended up doing. That's a good way of doing it when you hit like it's like writer's block. I don't know what to call that. It's like menu writing block. Like you do it so often, you just go. It's not that you hate doing it, but you kind of hate it because you're like, fuck, I've done so many dishes. So you need those parameters. You need it to
I
be.
can do anything.
It's got to be Wagyu from this place.
Yeah.
And maybe if you have a fucking person to call, like, what have you actually got?
Yeah.
Or what have you? Yeah.
That's
a
how I
good
would
one as
start.
well as exactly. Is like, what are you sitting? I always used to like that one. Like, what are you sitting on? Like, literally ring the reps. So what are you sitting on? They might have massive buckets of fucking really good burrata or something that you didn't, and then you go, fuck, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I can think of something now.
What's cheap? What's
Yeah.
a discount?
Yeah.
What can I get?
I mean, that's just a kicker, but these are just good tips to think of how the fuck you're going to get out of that zone of. All I can think about is potato and beef.
Yeah.
Like for what you could be like, you could be free Michelin, and you'll still get that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of another. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And that's where reading other people's menus.
Yes.
You'll never copy the same menu. It's almost impossible. But it gives you like, oh, that works well.
It starts to get
that
your
would
brain
work
ticking.
with this. Well, the one we did, but we have to use salmon instead of whatever yeah.
Yeah.
And you start getting a roll on, like you said.
Yeah, yeah.
You start getting a roll on, and off you go. That's all you need. Just chat to someone. You can't just sit there by yourself.
Yeah. Like you're looking at the blank piece. It is writer's block
And
for a menu.
Yeah.
You're looking at a blank piece of
It
paper.
used to happen to me all the time.
But it doesn't matter. You need to know what's cheap anyway. Like I want the cheapest shit and
Yeah.
then I'll make something from it. I used to fucking hate describing, and I got in so much trouble for this. I didn't want to put everything on the menu. I didn't want to describe every facet of my dishes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There could easily be
Yeah.
a fat crumb on
But
there,
people-
but you're not going to write that like.
People used to get so upset because, like, if I was writing even just specials and stuff, I'd like finish all the time. I'd finish the dish, and they'd be like, "Oh, is there peas on this?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, but you didn't write that in the menu." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's
There's also butter and salt.
yeah.
and
There's all
pepper in
kinds
it.
of stuff.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing
Yeah.
because I didn't want
You
to
want
be
write the
like,
ingredients of the master stock out for you or something. Yeah.
yeah. The menu isn't like, hey, these are all the ingredients of what is on the dish.
Yeah.
This is like what is going to get you excited about eating this thing. You know,
It's making someone want to order that.
so if it was like we're saying, like if it was beef and jus, orange jus, like we're talking about,
Yeah.
and fucking jerky crumb,
Yeah.
and I put a pea puree next to it
Yeah.
for a little bit of fun, and they're like, well, you didn't say there was peas on it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what the dish is, and that's what I put on it. And I get what normal people are thinking, where they're like, oh, I don't like peas, but I didn't care at that stage about what people liked and didn't like, you know?
Yeah, and also that's thoroughly on the front of house to know what is on the dish.
Yeah.
So it's a question you're supposed to go through, and then they remember
So
in
for,
tasting notes.
for me, the menu was, I'm trying to pique your
nobody
interest about some flavors and something interesting, and then I will do the rest. And I also want to surprise you a little bit about how I'm going to even finish that dish and combine it
Yeah.
to make it interesting.
Like even the hash brown thing, right? That could be fucking anything.
Anything.
That could be absolutely awesome, yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the end with the avocado and stuff. And I like that. I mean, I guess that's more of a degustation thing where you just build the blocks of it and then you're allowed to fuck with it.
I remember there used to be a lot of textures of,
Ugh.
and that was the end of everything because it was like textures of salmon.
Bye.
And then that's all you needed to say. I used to thought it was like a cheat code for a while, and then it just got thoroughly flogged so hard that no one, I doubt anyone, surely no one uses that anymore.
Yeah. Everyone was trying to find
textures of carrot. Textures
trio of.
Yeah, you love a trio.
But I'm just like, if I think about textures of salmon, I'm like, oh, that's actually a very interesting dish. I kind of like that. I could fucking do something with that, you know?
Oh, yeah, textures was on one of those words people didn't like. Were the foodie words.
That they didn't textures. Yeah, well, fair.
Basically, we've had every word under the sun now from people.
that they don't like.
Yeah, you know the word. You know that one.
Yeah, but do you think that normal people are
people
going
love
out
that
and
so
getting
much.
pissed?
Or loved it so much.
Is it chefs or
It's
is it
always
normal
chefs.
people?
They're always
Yeah.
like, I can't listen to that word anymore. But
Yeah.
you don't know where you've come from. Like textures for me, it's because I flogged it myself, got so pissed off at it, and then went, ugh, textures. I was like, but you've, you know, it felt like a cheat code to not write something on the menu. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be bothered. I'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah.
I will throw a plate of food on the ground if it's got a parsley garnish on it.
It's so unnecessary.
I'll throw it
Yeah.
directly on the ground.
There are real cool garnishes to do, though, that is not that.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah. We had a bit of a convo. Ravioli, right? Like putting mini,
Oh, yeah, the
mini
mini one?
pastas. Yeah.
That went through a phase. I'm not sure where I hit that, where I was when I saw that a lot.
I
or
loved
what year
it.
it was, but it came and went quick for me wherever the places were.
I loved it.
But it was just like this one little tortellini normally. What I had. But I mean, you only had to. It was so bizarre. You're rolling out pasta to do 20 torts, and that's 20 dishes. That's 20 covers.
Which was so much better, though.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I want to make a dish out of it.
Yeah.
I kind of like making that, but then obviously it's just a full bench. You got to make it. How many have we got? And it's a constant count on them.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, do we make the pasta? It's got to be pasta. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's better than making 800 of them.
Don't fuck them up. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, those are the things that I never trusted anyone to make. That wasn't me. Obviously, people could do it, but that's the last thing you wanted if it was your section and you had 20. You had say you had 35 for the night, easily cover whatever you got. One per, and then you throw one in, and the fucking Batman's out. You're like, okay,
Yep.
let's just call that the odd one out. And then the second one, you're like, this is bullshit the whole night. You'd have to grip it in the pot, which is like taking you away from that. Okay, now I'm doing this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
And you're cursing the person's name, but now you're obsessed with whoever did it.
Yeah, just stay away from me.
Yeah.
I'll fucking get ya.
And you know that that's just such a basic thing to not do.
Mm-hmm.
You think yeah,
Apologies won't count.
you're on
either.
the section for an
Sorry,
afternoon.
chef. Shut the fuck up.
You may as well not have done it at all, cunt.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
This is
That
why-
all night.
This is why you shit.
There's another one, mate. Yeah, all fucking night, dude.
You just ding the bell. Ding. It's another one for
I
you,
would normally try and get them to do it, not as like a punishment, but you're like, I can't do this and that. I can't hold tortellinis in a pot, or whatever they were. The Ravs actually, I think, busted more from memory.
Ravs are difficult.
The torts at least sort of held, or maybe the misshapen,
Yeah.
but the Ravs used
No,
to
Rav will
like,
bust open.
yeah.
Totally.
And I liked using it was late in it. Someone brought the
Yeah.
curry puff things.
I know what you're talking about.
The little clickers. They were like fucking 50 cents at the Indian shop.
Yeah.
And
They
I was
did
like,
them for empanadas as well.
That's it. Yeah, but it was a different. There was like you could get different
Yeah.
crimps. You
Yeah.
could get the ones like that, or the big triangles.
And now you're not
or you get
even-
the little crimps that look like you've.
Yeah.
You're
But
just-
you're not making a pasta anymore. You're making a dough because it'll just smash together. And I was like, this is a...
Yeah, but you could fuck it up with semolina first. You could just bust so you like dip the whole thing in semolina and just go, and then I remember that being a thing. But like they were like fried pastas. They were good for that.
Yep. I like little fried wonton things too.
So good. The fried
fun.
pasta.
Good fun. I had
They didn't bust as much too, which means if everything deep fried is cool.
100% on the deep fry.
Have you ever thrown your hand in a deep fryer?
Yes, my finger, whether you put the batter on it
Oh yeah, everyone's done that.
or you're just saying
No, I've seen it, and then there's a lot of
Nude.
comments.
of someone just doing it.
You know when you were saying you had the oil come and hit your eye, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Well, there's heaps of comments relating to that about deep fries, and I've seen it myself twice where someone's just had a brain fart, like drop. What the first one I ever saw, someone dropped the tongs in and just automatically went after it, like just brain fart, half their arm in, like so quick, right? And it's like fucked. And then the second time, I think we talked about it before, was when that guy went in after his fucking lighter and he fucking blew up the fry.
Lit himself on fire.
Yeah, but there was heaps of comments about that. But that's just you being tired, you not wanting to It's just automatically grabbing, not dropping stuff, right? I can see it happening. It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
It sounds like you are the most retarded person in the world. But I can see me doing it. If I was doing this and then my tongue slipped, I don't know. I would have to be in like a... Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
A daze. But it's like...
if that was boiling water, I wouldn't care. I'd give it a go.
Yeah, everything's dangerous, so I
Yeah.
guess everything becomes innocuous. Like it's all... It's not dangerous anymore. It's all just stuff.
When I used to fry stuff off, it wouldn't be that much. Like I never worked at those sort of places where you would have to like... bulk fry or anything like that. But I remember getting in zones. Just, if we were doing often, one shop I was at, we would do like a lot of weddings receptions. So it would be like a lot of sort of tempura, like zucchini flowers or squash flowers and things like that. And they were like, I can see myself getting in such a zone where I'm whistling to myself or just like thinking about not what I'm doing, because it's just like you do 50 at a time, and then you do the next whatever it is, fucking garfish or whatever the next one's coming up with. I could see me going, dropping a spoon and going, what the and just going, why would you do that?
Yeah, but they, like when you're an apprentice or whatever, they're like, check this out, and you like dip your hand in the batter and then you like stuff it in the fryer.
I've worked with people that do that. I've never done that. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
it's a dumb idea.
It's very stupid.
But you got to get through the day.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Make it happen.
I don't know. That just encourages the young kids to start doing shit like that when they should be working. That's always what I thought about it. There was always I thought I was always, there's a time and place and I do fun shit, or whatever.
There was a funny comment.
Maybe it was when I had time I would show, I don't know.
The
and
mandolin one?
But then the young kids would think they're your mates. They're your mates as well.
Yeah,
when you have to at least shut that off very quickly afterwards and go, well, yeah, chef, but you put your hand in fucking deep fry. You know what I mean? But you're like, can you pick this properly? Or can you pick the crest properly or something?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've just shown him how to put your hand in a deep fry. Like it doesn't...
I would separate.
You have to have some sort of...
Yeah. I'm not fucking around with the apprentices if I'm a senior chef.
Nah.
You got to separate, otherwise
Yeah.
it gets too blurry.
Nothing ever happens either. They think they can just get away with everything.
Yeah. There was a dude on the mandolin video who was like, what was he saying? Like if...
So many mandolin things too.
He's like, if you're fucking around and cutting yourself on the mandolin, you're not working hard enough. And I was like, that's such a chef thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like if you're cutting yourself, you're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said. That is the hilarious moment in my day. I was like, that's such a like old school chef mentality.
Yeah.
Like if you're injuring yourself,
Yeah.
you're not working. You're not focused.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not
So
working hard.
concentrate. It's probably concentration. I was like, yeah, but
Yeah, but that's not the point. Like
Yeah.
it's an accident. But I found that hilarious.
Yeah.
There's still people who like work harder in the comments of things.
first time I ever cut myself on a mandolin as well was doing the little. We used to do the little garlic cloves on it.
Oh,
It was so shit. And like when you get the garlic when you've used it for fucking ages, you get that whatever that is on your hands.
sticky.
It's gross. It never goes away. Cut yourself. It's fucking stings. I'd rather put my hand in a deep fry than that. And you know what's going to happen. That's the other thing about it. You know what's going to happen. It's just when you're doing that, when you're doing loads at a time. If it was just like a couple of cloves, you can go, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you get a bit of a roll on or someone walks by or, yeah. Not bad cuts. I just mean like,
Yeah.
you just little tiny nicks and just keep moving on, yeah.
Exactly.
But I remember like, fuck, dude. I hated that so much. And then I nearly got in a fight in the kitchen because of that, because I did all the garlic for somebody and it was going in this sugo, so like tomato sugo, which is like, with, I know what you know that is. Let's go down that path again. But it was with...
You can't now ask me anything.
But it was pure... but it was with pure cherry
Teppanyaki
tomatoes.
is. Yeah.
So you couldn't like cool off the... So it'd just be like good olive oil and then all those tiny little like garlic shavings until it just hit whatever. And then you'd put the tomatoes in, but you have to put them a bit early because they were cherries. because you couldn't cook. It just doesn't cool down straight away, so the garlic would still colour.
Yeah.
And fucking this cunt burnt the fuck out of it, and he put all the tomatoes in as well.
No.
And you're like, at what point? At what point? It was way worse too because I explained how to do it. I explained just that. I said, earlier the better. I don't, because they'll still keep frying, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I got so angry. I was like, you fuck off, cunt. Just fuck off. Like, I was just so annoyed. I took the pot off him to clean it myself and everything. I was like, you get out of my... I didn't even want you around me.
Yeah, just a furious pot cleaning.
I didn't mean to, but I got him behind the back of his arm with the pot that was on full fry. So I was like, oh, fuck off. I know. But it sort of swung. It was a big pot, so it sort of swung. Got him. Didn't care, obviously. Like, fucking take one of those.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, and then he pushed me with a pot and it hit the wall and I got some like...
He pushed you?
Because he was like, ah... You know, like...
Jesus.
Whether it was like deliberate or not, but he probably didn't want to get burnt by the pot. I understand that. But then I was like, fuck. Oil was like on my face. And I was like, oh, cunt. And I threw the pot. I was like, what the fuck, cunt? Like, just stay away from it. I was trying to help you out, man. Yeah. Now you've fucked everything. And obviously that's just one pot of thing.
You can't...
But it's just like a whole day of... It's not the only time he didn't. It's not just like... one time you fucked up.
A kitchen's a place where you can't like physically actually like push another chef, hey?
Yeah.
Like I would consider that like fighting terms.
Yeah, well, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, I don't think there's a rule.
Like
I don't think you walk around going, if he pushes me, it's on. It's just like, it's one of those things. It's like, and then if it happens like, again that week, you're like, the fuck is wrong with you, man? Yeah.
Like we're all pushing each other around behind, watch your legs, get out of the way. Like that's all that stuff is fine. If there's a direct push, I feel like that's like I didn't see that much in a kitchen, man. You know?
I don't think he pushed me, but it was the same result.
We'll put it out there. If someone pushes you in a kitchen, like chest to chest, that's game on.
Yeah, but like I didn't want to be pushed with that fucking hot, but I did like burn him. Not deliberate. I don't think anything was deliberate. I just think he went, ow.
Whatever.
And, you know, like a reaction to get it away from me sort of thing?
Yeah. Hundreds of people have burnt me. Yeah. Not many people have pushed me.
Yeah, but I didn't like I was an 11 out of 10. Because I was like...
Is that garlic?
Yeah, I just didn't want to do the garlic again.
Yeah, totally.
I did it for like...
shit job.
Yeah.
I actually, like sometimes...
do you know what? It was probably just because I was doing him a favour and then he fucked it and then I'm like, shit. You know, like, oh, that's what you get for doing
someone a favour. Don't be kind to anyone is the rule. I actually steam garlic. Like, if I've got, like, kale or silver beet or something, even at home, I, like, put all that stuff in and then I put the sliced garlic on top of it and close the lid and I will steam...
rice?
Garlic on top of kale.
Kale.
Or whatever. And put the lid on... and I will steam the garlic before I start cooking it.
You're right.
These days.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because I got a garlic intolerance from working in an Italian restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, I ate so much raw garlic.
Did you know...
I never had one.
Right.
I never had one, and I worked there for a year and a half, and there's a lot of raw garlic and raw onion, so it's onion and garlics now.
In what?
Everything. Pasta. Because it was like a classic Italian restaurant, there's always raw garlic around. Okay. And you're always tasting things. Okay. And raw garlic is just everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. And I walked out of that place not being able to eat onions anymore. It gave me a reflux. I got rid of that, but also... I
can see that happening if you're eating raw onion and garlic. I can see that happening.
Yeah, it was weird. It wasn't so like you just get like an imbalance of sodium, whatever, in your gut.
Yeah, right.
So now I have to like do tricky
intolerance.
I want to do tricky things where sometimes I can get like a nice flavor of garlic, but not get a reflux on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like steam garlic and stuff. Sometimes it's real good. Nice way to go about it.
There would be so little things I've used raw garlic in to serve. I can't even, maybe chimichurri to a point, but even then I always like to use confit or burnt or
black garlic,
fermented, anything like that.
If I could use black garlic, I would every day. That Wagyu menu should be Wagyu orange black garlic carpaccio. I found it. That's a fucking winner.
Yeah.
And we'll put a little of the crumb on there as well.
Yeah, you'd have to have a bit of, I don't know, maybe like fresh horseradish or something on there, a bit of bite, some sort of peppery.
Wasabi.
Something.
You can't go wrong. Fresh wasabi.
Yeah.
Delicious. What about if you get those wasabi peas, crush them up?
For anyone that's ever wants to grow horseradish, fresh horseradish, it's like the best thing ever. It's the easiest thing to grow in the world. And you can steal it from work and do it.
Takes a while though. Takes a while to grow.
Yeah, but it comes back every year. You don't have to do shit with it.
Mm.
That's all fucking weed. Just don't plant it where you don't want it. No, it doesn't take that long. If you planted it in whatever the wet is, it'll come up.
Do you have a garden at home?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Ish.
The whole thing's a garden kind of thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
When you're putting veggies in there and stuff?
We used to, and then we got caught up with all this other shit like life.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of overgrown and yeah.
Can you still walk out there and pick some things?
Oh yeah, we got like basils and chilies and thyme and rosemary and all the rest.
Yeah.
I loved having fresh horseradish just there all the time.
Mm.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
And then just chuck in the freezer. Even if you just like microplant it straight from the freezer, there's a full fresh root.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff. I gave up my garden about 5 months ago, just before summer. I'm like, I'm not doing another summer.
Yeah. It's a fucking commitment, eh?
Yeah.
You gotta be out there spraying every motherfucker. And if you want to do it without, obviously you don't want to do it with like fucking pesticides and Roundup and all that sort of shit.
Mm-mm.
Every motherfucker is gonna eat it. Birds, bugs, it's good shit.
Yeah.
The more organic you go,
just the
more
water.
shit's around that wants to. Yeah, I get the water
as well.
But I used to get like I don't mind just like watering my bare feet. It's fucking. I think it's kind of cool.
Mm.
But obviously it's a lot of water, and then I don't know. I just want it to grow.
Mine is just so open as well, though. Like the area is just so open, it just gets torched.
Summer just destroys everything.
Summer's like meh. Not I had one for maybe like the last 6 years.
You're right.
Smashing them, all kinds of cool stuff, chickens and stuff for a while as well. I like it. I enjoy that part of. Actually, that's probably what chefs should do more. Is kind of like farm a little bit, grow a little bit more than they do.
Gives you an appreciation anyway.
Yeah, definitely for baby carrots. Holy shit!
Yeah,
it's like 5 months.
Yeah,
just get a baby carrot. And then
but it's also seasonal, right? Like you get that appreciation of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Of absolutely everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I do totally agree. What do we got? Yeah, nice. I had an interesting one. Someone got in contact with me, which is cool because I asked you about can I share one of my comedy bits on the channel and see what happens.
Yeah. And
it was cool. It was great. Nice response. But a dude from the press club who I've talked about on this podcast was like, holy fuck, bro. What is I know you. What's happening? Right. And he was the guy that was in there.
Every video too. Why this one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's come across him somehow. And he was the guy that used to call the sous chef Jeff without him knowing. Yes, Jeff.
I love it.
Sir, yes, Jeff. Got it, Jeff.
Yeah.
And no one knew. And he was like, I was like, why do you keep calling him Jeff? He's like, it's just my little way of fucking that guy.
Yeah.
Just being a prick to that dude. And he finally found me. And I was like, that's just such a win. It's so hilarious to catch up with some of those old work people. They're not even work mates, you know what I mean? You're like, you had 3 months with some dude in like 1962, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So cool. And now he's out in Bali doing some awesome shit. I don't know what he's doing.
That's cool.
Cooking for like high-flying, I don't know, rich cunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he should get us out there.
I was like, if we fucking... Once we make it...
Well, we just need the rich cunts. I don't care about him at all.
Go talk to rich people.
He can come on the podcast. That's not drama.
Just talking to rich people. So, how's the boat?
Yeah.
Rich people have no fucking idea, dude. They have zero idea about the world.
I guess it's at a certain point. Yeah. you know what they do have an idea of is like not necessarily money, but there's always one of them that will know rates of everything and what the yen is doing at the moment, or like just something, and you're like, yeah, but that's just like you having to do something or wanting, you know, what do I do with this money? It's a hobby, yeah.
Yeah, they know like...
and they'll always win it the right crypto, and you're like, okay. Or they'll... But that's taking just years of just, what do I do with all this money?
Yeah, totally.
It's like a Monopoly board, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just heard something today is like the guy that just dropped out of the political race in America, Ramaswamy, Vivek. They're like, he was an early investor in Rumble, you know, like the YouTube alternative.
No.
There's an alternative, a free speech alternative where you can't get demonetized and stuff. And this guy was like an early investor, like, oh, what a smart dude. He invested in it early because now, as of today, Barstool is going over to Rumble, all of the Barstool sports stuff, which is a huge online producer, content producer. And they're like, oh, what a smart dude for putting some money into this Rumble thing. And I was like, yeah, but also this dude's got $1 billion. So he's just like picking bets. So he's like, yeah, that's like a young YouTube thing. Yeah. I'll put a few mil in there. Yeah. And what's the issue? If I put $1,000 in there, you should come and congratulate me because I don't have $1,000. Yeah. And he'd be like, I'm going to bet my life on this Rumble shit. Yeah. That's kudos. Yeah. But these guys have a bunch of money and they're just like picking bets, you know? Yeah. They're not betting on the horses, they're not betting on the dogs, they're betting on companies. Yeah, they're early investors in everything. Yeah. Yeah. So you congratulate them on the one that works. It's the same as betting on every horse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bet on some horses that you like, corporate horses that you like. Yeah. So there's like a new YouTube coming up. I bet you there was like 3 or 4 startups. There was that one called but they would Periscope or something. But they would definitely know. It's not like they're all just out in the ocean not knowing everyone and have contacts, right? Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Rich people, that's their currency, I guess crypto. A lot of them hated crypto for a while. Yeah. Stock markets. Yeah. Like that's where they do their shit. They might know all that, but they don't know anything about being a normal person, do they? No. They just like blank, you know? That's why they're such boring motherfuckers. Yeah, I tend to find that, I mean, it's like a blanket statement saying rich people, but those types of rich people, that is what they do though. And I associate them with being the like national sales managers. Every time I've met those guys, I'm like, they're those guys. That's their whole life. They'll ruin fucking relationships for it. They'll talk the talk. They'll wear the same fucking uniform every day. Yeah, it's just whatever that mentality is. Yeah, they're not all going to be billionaires, but it's that sort of. I just think it's a hobby, but they take it, you know. It's like restaurant owners. You know what I mean? Yeah. They'll dog you. Well, yeah, some. Yeah. Yeah. Quite a lot. Yeah. What else? What's up this week? I don't know. What did I do this week? Oh, I went on the radio, That's right. Oh, yeah? For this, they contacted us, said ABC Perth. So come on the radio, talk about fucking, I don't know what. Yeah. And then you went and did it? Yeah, went and did it. 15 minutes. What time did they get you in there? I could have done it on the phone, but it was 7 a.m. I wouldn't want to do it on the phone. No, and I also want to see what's going on. How do they do stuff? Messages and everything. And they were like, cool. Don't have a problem with it. And this guy, I was just not used to having those sorts of conversations. It was 15 minutes, but it was all like, oh, we're going to call a company. Wow. Like, like, what the fuck I went on the radio last year. Yeah. And then like I put my headset on and there was no sound. And I just figured they got producers and all that, what's this shit? There's going to be sound in a sec. And then like, nah. And I was like, fuck. So I turned my own sound up and shit. And I was like, hello, you know. Yeah. That's just being who I am. This is how I am every day with everyone. Because they contacted us and said, we want one of you guys, cool concept, we want one of you guys to come on and talk to us, right? Yeah, but it was like the idea
which is a very complex conversation for 10 minutes, is there's a lot of these TV shows, MasterChef, but then you've got other ones like the Bear, who are pretending or trying to make a good go of authenticity in kitchens.
Yeah.
And then you still have the reality ones. You've got these bake-off things, and I was like, yeah, it's an interesting topic for a 3-hour podcast, right? So, and I was
Or
like,
an ongoing podcast forever.
Yeah. So they got me in, and then he was like, to start with, I don't get this guy's life because it's so rushed. It's like I got there and the music was on, so that means he can talk to me while the music's, well, the middle bit of the music. Either side of that, he has to figure out where he's come from and what he's doing next, right? And you're like, Jesus. And it's like, you're like this, and you're like, there's no human interaction. Really nice guy. But then I'm just not that guy. I can talk quick like that too, but I'm just like, I don't care about you either.
Yeah.
So then it started, there was like, I could hear, I didn't put the headphones on the other thing, and there was like a thing about the Bear, the TV show. There was an excerpt from the Bear. I could barely hear it. And then there was one from MasterChef, but there was no context to any of it. It was just like, is this? No one introduced it. And then he's like, we've got Lachie Sheridan, who was in the industry for 10 years, was wrong. And then he has is a co-host of a podcast, whatever. And then he didn't know I do this other stuff too. He doesn't know what it like.
The number one guy.
Yeah. So, which
God's
he's
work.
producing you, and I kind of I talked to the chick. I don't know what to call these people. They seem like producers to me.
They are
behind the scenes.
They are.
So there's one producer, and she said, "I'm a producer too," or whatever. But she was the one I talked to originally on the phone. And she was like, "Our producer was mad to get you in. He loves what you do and all this shit." I was like, "Cool," but that's not the guy I talked to. That's the other guy. So when I talked to this other guy briefly, he was like, "I love all your shit. This makes me hungry. You know, follow all this stuff." I'm like, "Cool, man." But then this guy didn't know I do that as well. So he just started talking about influencers and stuff. And I was like, perfect. I was like, I'm never going to mention it.
What's your opinion on influencers?
He started going, he said, he goes, what I've heard is that if you pretend to film your food with your phone out, you'll get better food in the restaurant. And I was like, well, to start with, I don't know. I don't even know if you would know that. Like, you would have to be told that. Like, normally you don't really... There's very few open kitchens, so you wouldn't even... And also, in my opinion, I would be like, fuck you.
I would definitely be like, fuck you.
But if they're doing that... But also, everyone films. So it's like a...
Yeah.
One of those things.
But
so,
what are you going to do? Burn this guy in his own radio show?
Yeah, and then I said... this is what I was saying to him. Like, this is all this stuff. And then I said... you would have to, but the point of it is not to give certain people better food. It's everything is consistent every time. You say the same shit. There's people yelling at you because you're not doing the same every. You know what I mean? Like,
very good point.
Yeah. So I don't give a fuck who they are. You're going to get the same as everyone else anyway, because that's the whole point. Otherwise, it all breaks down.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Or make this a good one. Yeah. But then I mentioned I do, but I said I have in the past known when I've got something that's slightly bigger, or they just come over and give me fries and they say, chef, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, like, so I know that happened, that side of it happens if you're recognised. But doing that, like filming, I've never heard of it. Mm-hmm. And he goes, oh, fucking, I should start a podcast if you get like free fries. And I was like, this is insane, hey.
You
like,
should also get 250,000 followers on Instagram, bro, if you want.
If you had 100,000 like Perth followers, you'd probably,
yeah. But then, you know, radio's dead.
It's also him just saying something in response.
Yeah.
Just saying words. And then this guy, he goes, oh, we got a text message in here. He goes, oh, I'd never open a restaurant. It says like too much hard work. Everyone's a critic. And I was like, that is true. I was like, but that is, he goes, would you ever open a restaurant? Oh, no. He says, what do you think about people that do open restaurants and all this stuff? I was like, that is a massively hard question to answer. It's like, to start with,
you've got 2 minutes.
To start with, do you have a deposit? Like, let's start there. And then I said, and then what I did say is, but to get I think what your point is that everyone is a food critic and everyone is a food photographer now. Doesn't matter. Everyone is, and everyone thinks they are, and the worst of the worst think they are the best because they ate something once, and they always want to tell you the worst thing about it. They don't want to tell you the good things. They just want to tell you the bad things.
True, and that's another thing
for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. I would say, like, even just listening to that, yeah, man, being a chef, you have to be even more consistent these days. So that's cool, you know.
Yeah,
they've got to keep the standard up. You can't really fuck around and drop your guard too much because anyone can post that online and get you in trouble or whatever.
I think, yeah,
which is cool.
But I wouldn't be able to handle that. I don't want anyone posting that. Dude, the ones that post like 1 stars and shit on Google reviews, they're just fucking pieces of shit. They're not. They all have the same thing of, I never spoke to anyone at the restaurant. This happened. Nothing was done about it because I didn't speak to anyone. I hated it. 1 star. We left without saying anything. 1 star. And then that sort of means things to people now.
I wouldn't get any reaction. Like, you wouldn't get a reaction from me from something like that.
I wouldn't react to it, but I don't think I'd be able to handle it well, like day to day. If people were bringing it up. When I finished full-time in kitchens and, like, you know, sous chefs and all that sort of stuff, it was slowly coming in, like not Yelp. I can't remember the ones people were using at the time. But it would be brought up at the weekly meetings by absolute fuckwits. And that's when I was like, so I don't mind people writing it because it's not, whether it's true or not, unless it's like my, like the waitress called me a slur or something. Sure, address it. This has to be addressed, right? Yeah. Surely. But like the ones that like that, like, why are you bringing this up? So we're going to have to change everything because one chick who never complained said something online, but we just did 1,200 people in the last 4 days.
Yeah.
And no one said shit other than thanks and paid, right? That's what started to piss me off, is that they were looking at these like they were solving problems, and you're like, there is no problems to solve. Unless it is a problem. Like, do you think it's a problem? I'm like, well, no, I've never seen it. Like, okay. And you're here 6 days a week? You're like,
yeah.
You know, that's what... So if it was happening all day, every day, that's fine. But if it was being addressed like that to me all day, like, I just walk. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to
also,
deal with
like,
it.
every Wednesday, Thursday, we get bad reviews because these 3 guys are on?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
You know?
I don't know about any of it. I just don't like it.
I don't know. I think the food industry, like, is under a lot of pressure.
They'll give you free shit all day if you just say it when you're there. Man up.
Yeah.
If you really don't like it, there is that avenue. Then that you can do that. Right?
I had to show Kerry Ann.
What?
She got a bad meal.
Right.
Like, it was bad. And she was like, oh, I've got a bad meal. I better just... I was like, oh, no, look at this. Hello, hey. Yeah, sorry, this isn't good. Like, we just want it like this.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yes, no worries.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you do it.
Yeah,
they want to help you. They want to serve you.
Yeah.
They want to make it good for you.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and be a piece of shit and then leave and give it a 1 star and be a
I think
dick
it's
about
the most gutless thing you can ever do. Is that is to
put your hand up.
Yeah.
Go and say something.
Yeah.
And don't be rude about it. Don't be like, oh, I can't believe that this is a medium rare.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, this is a medium rare. That's what we ordered. We'd appreciate it.
You're happy to tell these people who have never stopped smiling to do everything you want them to do. And then when you get something, you're like, might dog them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
I'm going to sit here and eat this crap
What makes
food.
you think they're not going to help you?
Yeah.
They've literally pulled your seat out, everything.
Yeah. I asked Kerry Ann about it. I was like, what do you...
1-star reviews should be banned.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Everything should just be 2-star. But, like, what do they think
there has to be something. Like, okay, I heard this. This is true. I'm not going to say who, what, where. I was talking to an owner of a place last week, and we were talking about this. And he goes, yeah, he found out that he got 4 1-star reviews from Uber drivers because they were annoyed at waiting for Ubers.
Wow.
And like he literally found this out, like proven, and Uber like did something about it, right? But also that took a lot of his time. You know,
That's nuts.
yeah, but that's just one of these things. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
You can contact Meta, and it is a way of shaming a business too. Like we had a thing here a few months back where a shop, some East Coast guy came over, and there's a shop. He just had recorded someone, one of the staff having a go at him. Did a bit of a store in his TikTok. He has like 1 million followers, and then all these 1-stars came in from people that never had been there.
No,
but they contacted Meta, and they just got Google, whatever that is, and they just deleted all their 1-stars. It actually worked out well for them.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I'm assuming they don't want to look at it. But you can see if they're all coming in just 1-stars all at the same time.
It's ridiculous.
Geotagged.
But an Uber driver who's not even getting a meal is allowed to put in a 1-star on a restaurant that's working hard, man. That's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's going to cause issues.
But it is a tactic people do use, and I've seen it way more than you would think.
Well, you just want them to lose business because you're waiting.
It's not
to do your job.
It's not why you gave him a 1-star. It's who you're doing it for. It's like, are you doing it for a different business? Are you doing it for blah blah blah? And then in the very odd occasion, yes, someone did get a good a shitty meal. They didn't address it, and
does that work the other way with 5 stars, where people are giving themselves 5 stars, asking them friends? Now this is
of course it would.
So
surely
the Fringe is happening right now.
You would need like 8 5-star reviews compared to one.
Yes.
1-star.
Totally.
Because you're going to just go...
You can rate comedians at the Fringe right now, and you could do it last year.
Of course you can.
So people go on in other accounts and rate themselves and have been caught out for it.
Yeah.
Where they give themselves 5-star reviews. Wow, that was hilarious. This guy's the best comic in Perth.
Yeah.
This guy's the best up-and-coming.
I would give myself 5, but I wouldn't say it like the third person. I'd be like... That set was fucking fire.
Yeah, I am Tim, and I kick ass.
Yeah. I said, whoever was up there was not my... Normally I bomb.
Yeah.
Tonight, got to give myself...
But for
5.
restaurants, like, I guess you're getting a lot of that as well. Like I know good restaurants have integrity. That's fine. But, like, bad restaurants can push their reviews and stars up, right?
Yeah, but I think that all comes out in the wash. Like...
From the amount.
I mean, like, you're never going to get more... I just think you'll attract a 5-star if you are good. You're not going to attract them. You would have to do that a lot. I mean, it's doable.
Possible.
It's doable. I'm not saying it's not doable.
Yeah.
But, like, if you look on what ratings are online of restaurants, I reckon it probably matches up. I just don't get the 1-star, don't talk to the staff. Like you used
brutal.
to. Yeah.
So what happened at the end of this radio thing? Yeah. Did it work out?
Yeah, it was fine. It was
Did you get something across? Did they?
Just like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember even how it, but it was literally that. Like, it wasn't even anything.
Do they care about the industry? Did they ask about the pod?
Oh, so right at the end, no.
Nah.
So right at the end,
nah.
Well, yeah. I don't get why they wanted me to talk anyway. Like, what do they want for the 10 seconds that no one's listening? Like, I don't get it.
They need content every day.
Of course, and they're filling gaps, right? And it's like, for the amount of effort it took to get me in, or even on the phone to ring in, it was fucking... But when he finished, that's what I didn't get about this guy's life. Because he was just covering brekkie. And he's constantly like 7:05. You're like, this is fucking insane. Yeah. Then he got up and it was like 7 o'clock. We're done. I was like, and then it hit 7, and that was it for his run at the whatever it was. I was like, cool. And he got up and then he was like, I was going to ask you about hazing, and I was like, about what hazing? I didn't understand him. I was like, hazing, like hazing.
Yeah, like the IPA. Beautiful.
I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, he was like, yeah. Did you hear about that story where the French chef got cling wrapped to a pole, and then I think he said they like put something up his butt, or they abused him or something. Well, I can't remember what the second bit was, but I was like, oh right, but that's like, okay, I can see that happening. I've never seen. I said I know when I was an apprentice, another apprentice I was worked with got cling wrapped to a pole, and the guy forgot about him for a bit, and that was not cool. Like, but I can see that happening. It's just never called hazing.
Yeah,
I've never heard that called hazing.
It's
just like
American university thing.
Yeah, I know what hazing is, but it was just like he threw me for a bit. I was like, no, that's just... And I said, I can name you about...
Bullying?
I can name you thousands of things like that if you sat me down.
Yeah.
He was like, really? I was like...
Yeah, and we could have made your
so
radio
you don't listen
entertaining.
to the podcast, do you?
Yeah.
The fuck?
The first 10 episodes is the trauma that I got from...
But even that conversation where I'm done... They're slowly pushing me out of the studio to like, this is all insane.
Yes.
The short form shit is so insane. Nothing matters.
Yes.
What I said didn't matter. The answer was the answer. He's still going to go, all right, now on to, whoa.
What?
Yeah.
But the conversation you have with that guy off air is so much more honest and real than anything they put on air.
We should have had that conversation for 15 minutes.
And that's the disconnect.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's why people are doing other things.
The other thing about that, obviously, is that whether it was you or I that did that interview, we don't change through that whole process, but he does. He's the guy going, we got this one in, we got this one.
705.
Have you ever heard about hazing, boys?
Yeah.
How good is it? I used to run and all that sort of shit. But then you get off air, we're still the same people. And he now just wants to have a calm conversation.
Yeah.
And you're like, why don't you just do that?
And that would have been way more entertaining.
And then you wonder why people watch or listen to podcasts. Or listen to fucking Spotify or anything over you
Or get away
guys.
from this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, really? I was like, yeah, isn't this is an interesting conversation? And then his producer came in, the guy. And he was a nice guy too. He was just really nice. And just like, love your shit. Love it all. Watch all of it. All this sort of stuff. I love, So he was the guy that got us in. He just wanted to,
Cool.
And I said, you have a job.
For me.
That's the reaction I got to.
We could never have you on the radio, bro. Too loose.
No, he was like, I don't know what goes on here, but yeah. He's like, well, because, if someone floods you with compliments, you're like, wicked.
Give me
a job. Yeah.
just because?
Yeah. I do one day a week. ABC Perth.
Fucking 6 a.m. I'm not getting up again. I'm not getting up again. I'm starting to push it now. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting up at 9 o'clock. I will never get up early again in my life.
I'm always up at 4.
No, I'm not going to do it.
No, it's no pressure to do it.
I can't do it.
But this is just me. So that's what I didn't mind going in because I'm already awake, right?
I can't do 4. I'm a late night person.
Yeah.
What time are you in bed? We're getting off track.
It depends.
We got to go.
All right.
But you're not going at 2 o'clock in the morning?
No, I
and
just
up
don't
at
go
4?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm up late, but I'm not doing stuff. I'm not like having a radio show or stand up or
I made a
chatting or anything that really using my brain much after 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm out there doing
But it's just a
cocaine and
choice.
drinking and
Yeah, but
talking
that's
to
just a
people.
choice I've got to. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So 4 a.m. is it?
that's brutal, dude. That's so early.
But you know who's around at 4?
Nobody.
Yeah.
I love the piece of it. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's calm. Often I'll sit on a deck outside. And that's really nice at that time. Like it's no one's up. The wind's there. I do editing. Yeah.
It does sound very peaceful.
Yeah, my kid gets up. She always gets up at 6:30 still, even.
I'm getting into editing at night time now. I can't really do it with all the shows that are happening for this festival, but yesterday I get a good focus on like a 6 p.m. start on edits and just go.
Yeah.
It seems to work. I get good work done, but then it kind of fucks my brain because I like drinking coffee at that time and doing editing. Can kind of mess you up a little bit.
I guess so, but then you don't get up anyway, so...
Yeah, but then I do have a
that
mix of
early,
days. I do have a mix of days. So
Right.
some days I do, some days I don't. But if I could just get up at like 11 and get ready for an edit day and start drinking coffee at 3, would be perfecto.
guess, yeah, but my editing is every day though, so that's where I just get it done. I don't have like a day where I go like, oh, I know what you mean. It's not just like your edit day that week. I know what you mean, but
yeah,
that's how I've done it. It's really calm.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
sounds very polite, very nice.
Yeah,
Nice
but that's just
cup of Joe, 4 a.m, surely.
Yeah,
or a beer. Just start cracking beers.
I've had beers before. Normally, if it's like the NFL's on, I've been in trouble once for doing that. And like I was like on my day off. This has been when I was chefing. I had like a beer, or maybe I had something else. Well, it was a drink anyway, right? But it was like 5 a.m. But it was like a double header on the NFL. I'm not working. It's playoffs. It felt like it. I didn't think I meant to do it even from memory. It was just like beer, and I was up. Like I'd been up for the first game, and this was the second at 3 a.m. And this was the second game starting at like 5:40. Had a beer, and then she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
I was like, "The game." Like,
we can watch the Super Bowl together. I'm excited.
Where do you want to
go? Somewhere cool. I don't know.
Let's go somewhere shit. So I'll tell you where we're not going to go: the Midlands or the Armadales.
Yeah, true. I can't do any more of those. There's good sports bars around. I don't know. Whatever sports bars are cracking it.
No, I know where to go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll do it. It's next week, right? 2 weeks. It's soon.
It's whenever
the Chiefs just got in.
To come, yeah.
I'm excited.
Are they in?
Yeah.
Who's in then? Packers just lost. I know that. That's why I just don't know who's in.
I think, I'm going to put it out on air. I think it's the Chiefs and maybe the Eagles or something. No, it's not the Eagles because the Kelce's lost. One Kelsey won. I don't know. I like Mahomes. I'm going Chiefs.
You're pretending that you don't know that Taylor Swift is now a
Everybody
Chiefs
does.
fan.
Oh, it's just so
everyone knows, but you're just pretending
that I don't know.
That now you're
I like their
Chiefs
podcast.
fan.
I liked their podcast until
the Kelsey boys. Yeah.
Until it all went down, and then I was like,
till what?
The Taylor Swift shit stuff. Because I like the other guy more. I like the older brother more.
Travis.
No, the Travis Kelce is with Taylor Swift.
Oh,
we're getting into the weeds.
I thought he was the other guy.
Oh shit, we're done.
All right.
It's over. Batteries are out.
All right.
Nice one,
boy.